If you think the law is always serious and standardized, then you haven't been to Japan. These are real laws, and they exist right in the heart of one of the most developed countries in the world. Before we begin, if you're someone who loves exploring culture, bizarre laws, and alternative perspectives from around the globe, don't forget to subscribe to Eagle Discovery so you won't miss out on our next extraordinary journeys. Now, let's dive into a world where things banned almost everywhere are embraced as a part of daily life in Japan. Selling used underwear, underwear, and there are buyers. In many countries, just talking about buying or selling used underwear could be considered morally deviant or even illegal. But in Japan, there was once a time when vending machines sold used women's underwear. Some of these machines even included details like the previous wearer's age, occupation, or lifestyle, fueling a niche trend among a specific group of curiosity-driven customers. Although authorities have since banned these types of vending machines, this underground market still quietly exists in certain specialty shops, often labeled burusera, a mashup of buruma, bloomers, and seirafuku, sailor uniforms. From a cultural perspective, this reflects a society where fetishes aren't as harshly judged as they often are in the West. That's why Japan is frequently seen as the land where you can buy anything. Legal age of sexual consent, 13 years old. Despite being a global economic powerhouse, Japan has long shocked the international community with a highly controversial fact. The legal age of sexual consent under national law is just 13 years old. This law dates back to 1907, and while most regions in Japan have independently raised the age to 16-18, the number 13 inches still officially remains in national legislation. In recent years, rising sexual misconduct scandals and international pressure have prompted the Japanese government to reconsider this outdated legal framework. Many lawmakers and human rights organizations are now pushing for Japan to raise the age of consent to align with global norms. For many foreigners, this number is not just shocking, it's unbelievable that such a law still exists in a developed country. What do you think? Is the age of 13 still acceptable in a modern society? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion is a valuable insight into how culture and law intersect. Living with a doll as a real-life partner. Have you ever heard of someone in Japan marrying an anime character? Or living with a life-size doll as if it were their actual spouse? It might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, but this is a real and recognized subculture in Japan. Many Japanese people, especially middle-aged men, have chosen to form long-term relationships with silicone dolls, which are crafted to look and feel like real humans. These dolls can have flexible joints, expressive faces, and even AI-powered speech capabilities in some advanced models. There are several factors behind this phenomenon: high social pressure, feelings of isolation in urban life, the rising costs of dating and marriage, fear of emotional responsibility in real relationships. Some individuals even hold formal wedding ceremonies with their dolls, complete with photographers, wedding dresses, and guests. Afterward, they live with their wife as if she were a real-life partner, sometimes for years. To outsiders, this may seem bizarre or unnatural, but in Japan, it's often seen as a modern cultural outlet, a deeply personal escape from loneliness, supported by both social conditions and technological innovation. Marrying a first cousin is legal. In many countries, marrying your first cousin is illegal, or at least considered a serious taboo due to concerns about genetic risks and the ethics of close blood relations. But in Japan, marriages between close relatives, including first cousins, are entirely legal. Even more surprising, several politicians, scholars, and celebrities in Japan, including 2 former prime ministers, have openly married their first cousins. Unlike in many Western societies where strong stigma surrounds cousin marriage, in Japan, it's often viewed simply as a personal choice, as long as both parties genuinely love each other and no legal obstacles exist. This practice reflects a broader cultural attitude. Japan places a high value on individual autonomy, and the legal system doesn't always conform to global moral standards. Instead, it often emphasizes personal freedom and social acceptance over rigid ethical norms. Public nudity and bathing totally normal in Japan. Would you dare bathe completely naked with strangers? In Japan, not only is it common, it's part of a deeply rooted cultural tradition. The practice of onsen, hot springs, and sento, public bathhouses, has existed for centuries and remains an integral part of Japanese life today. At these places, everyone is required to fully undress before entering the bathing area, no matter who you are or where you come from. Wearing a swimsuit is actually considered disrespectful, as the Japanese believe that true equality is expressed through shared vulnerability. No titles, no barriers, no concealment. Onsen are not just about hygiene. They're spaces to relax, connect, and let go of one's ego. In fact, it's not uncommon for Japanese business people to discuss deals and negotiations while sitting naked in a steaming hot bath. Legal and thriving, the love hotel industry. Japan may be the only country that has turned romantic privacy into a full-fledged, creative, and highly professional industry. Love hotels, often misunderstood by outsiders, are not seedy or illicit. They are short-stay or overnight hotels designed specifically for couples seeking privacy, and many are themed in imaginative, even outrageous ways, from fairy tale castles and spaceships to classrooms and jail cells. One standout feature is maximum discretion. You can rent a room without ever speaking to staff. Just choose your room from a screen and pay automatically. Some hotels even cover license plates to ensure complete privacy. Given Japan's tight living spaces, love hotels are not just for romance. They're also a practical solution for couples who lack private space at home. Renting someone to cuddle with you, nothing more. It may sound like science fiction, but in Japan, you can actually pay to sleep beside someone, and without any sexual contact involved. This service is known as soenya, or sleep together shop, where clients, mostly lonely men, can hire a woman to cuddle with, hold hands, chat, or simply sleep beside them for a few hours, overnight, or even on a scheduled basis. The rules are strict and clear. No inappropriate touching, no solicitation, no crossing of personal boundaries. Any violation results in immediate termination of the service. The women providing the service are trained to offer emotional support, create a sense of safety, and ease the overwhelming loneliness many people experience in Japan's big cities. Think that's unusual? Just wait. Japan still has more surprises waiting for you. Hiring strangers to attend your wedding, or pretend to be your family. Need a fake husband to please your mom at a wedding? Or a strict father figure to impress your girlfriend's parents? In Japan, every role in your life can be hired. A well-known company called Family Romance offers real-life actors who can be rented for just about any part, including family members, classmates, ex-lovers, or even your boss. Some common scenarios include hiring friends to avoid embarrassment at your wedding, renting fake parents for school meetings, pretending to have a significant other to fight off gossip. Some people even maintain these roles for years, integrating them into their real lives. What starts out as fiction slowly becomes a kind of emotional reality, like living inside a movie. This isn't just a business. It's a cultural escape hatch for those trapped in a rigid society where appearances and reputation often outweigh personal truth. Telling the truth can still get you sued for defamation. In many countries, if you state facts, you're protected under freedom of speech laws. But in Japan, even if what you say is 100% true, you can still be sued for defamation. And if it damages someone's reputation, Japanese defamation law focuses less on whether a statement is factual and more on its social consequences. If the person mentioned feels that their honor or public image has been harmed, you may be ordered to pay compensation or issue a public apology. Some notable cases include a person who exposed an affair online and got countersued, an anonymous blogger lost in court because the subject's identity was easily guessable. This has led to a culture of careful hinting and indirect language, where even in the face of wrongdoing, many Japanese are afraid to name names publicly out of fear of legal retaliation. Eating whale, dolphin, and shark fin meat. In most parts of the world, eating whale or dolphin meat is unthinkable, even seen as a crime against nature. But in Japan, certain marine animals considered endangered elsewhere, like minke whales or dolphins, are still legally consumed. The reason lies in Japan's long-standing culinary traditions, especially after World War II, when whale meat was a vital protein source that helped feed the nation. Even today, the Japanese government defends whaling under the banners of cultural heritage and scientific research. While not common in everyday meals, whale and dolphin meat can still be found in traditional restaurants, local markets, and even on Japan's Amazon site. Shark fin, meanwhile, is served in premium dishes such as shark fin soup, especially in high-end Chinese-Japanese cuisine. Before we dive into the next uniquely Japanese laws, would you like to explore strange laws in Asia, Europe, or the Americas next? Drop the region or country you're most curious about, our done. It might just be our next destination. Buying cigarettes from vending machines. In Japan, you can buy cigarettes anytime, anywhere, even in the middle of the night, thanks to vending machines that require only a TASPO card, an ID card proving you're over 20 years old. These cigarette machines are scattered throughout neighborhoods, train stations, and even residential areas, something rarely seen in other developed countries. The TASPO system is designed to prevent underage smoking through an electronic card scan, though its effectiveness remains debated. The easy access to tobacco has helped Japan maintain one of the highest smoking rates among developed nations, especially among middle-aged men. Shockingly, some 24/7 cigarette machines are located right near schools or densely populated areas, baffling many foreign visitors. Despite growing restrictions, smoking culture in Japan runs deep. It's still considered a social habit across generations. Smoking inside restaurants and bars. You walk into a famous ramen shop in Tokyo expecting the aroma of savory broth, but instead, you're hit by the smell of cigarette smoke. No, it's not because of poor regulation. It's because the restaurant is legally exempt from indoor smoking bans if it was built before 2020. Unlike the West, Japan's indoor smoking laws are less rigid. Small businesses, especially family-run restaurants, can legally allow smoking if they don't employ staff or were established before new health regulations took effect. Smoking allowed signs are often tiny and easy to miss, causing confusion for many tourists. Moreover, some bars and nightclubs actively encourage smoking, promoting it as part of the adult nightlife experience. Cosplaying in public, totally accepted. In many countries, walking down the street dressed as an anime or video game character would earn you stares, or worse, judgment. But in Japan, especially in places like Akihabara, Tokyo, or Nipponbashi, Osaka, cosplay is a vibrant part of urban culture. On weekends, it's common to see hundreds of people dressed as characters from Naruto, Goku, to obscure anime figures that only die-hard fans would recognize. Not only is it socially accepted, but many shopping malls and cafes actively host cosplay events, complete with photo studios and professional services. The best part? Even elderly people join in. It's not unusual to see a man in his 60s cosplaying as a One Piece character, turning the streets into a colorful celebration of fandom and self-expression. Running away as an adult, police won't intervene. In most countries, if an adult goes missing, it triggers a police investigation. But in Japan, if you're over 18, you have the legal right to disappear completely, and no law forbids it. This phenomenon is known as johatsu, meaning evaporated people. And there are companies that specialize in helping you vanish. They'll move your belongings in the middle of the night, help you change your number, find a new apartment, and cut all ties with your past life. Why do people do this? Crushing job pressure, debt, divorce, shame from failure, or sometimes simply the desire to reset life without explanation. And the most shocking part, police are not allowed to intervene as long as the person left voluntarily. It's a right to disappear. Uniquely Japanese. Owning a real katana, no special license required. In most countries, owning a weapon like a Japanese sword, katana, is either banned or requires a special permit. But in Japan, you can buy, display, and even carry a katana during traditional festivals, as long as you register it properly with local authorities. The katana isn't just a weapon. It's considered a cultural artifact, a symbol of samurai honor and heritage. Some collectors own dozens of antique swords, each worth tens of thousands of dollars. Shops that sell katana operate openly and even welcome tourists to hold the swords, pose for photos, or place custom replica orders. To the Japanese, a katana is far more than a blade. It's a living piece of history, embodying national pride, artistry, and spiritual discipline. adult content sold openly in convenience stores. If you walk into a Japanese convenience store like 7-Eleven, Lawson, or Family Mart, don't be surprised to see a dedicated corner displaying adult magazines, DVDs, or manga, completely in the open. In Western countries, such materials are usually hidden, locked up, or restricted to special areas. But in Japan, they're treated as a normal part of retail, often placed near children's comic shelves, though always clearly labeled with age restrictions and warnings. Interestingly, most stores don't heavily conceal or isolate these sections because Japanese society generally views 18-plus content as a natural human need, not something shameful or taboo. Districts like Akihabara in Tokyo even have entire buildings legally dedicated to selling adult goods, from erotic manga and DVDs to toys, and these places are often just as busy as mainstream shopping malls. Death by overwork, and the company gets away with it. In Japan, working hard is not just a value. It's almost a moral obligation. But when employees collapse from strokes, heart attacks, or suicide due to excessive work, the country has a term for it: karoshi, or death from overwork. The shocking part? In most karoshi cases, companies are not criminally charged. At worst, they pay administrative fines or settlements to the victim's family. Many workers, even when their health is deteriorating, don't dare take time off, fearing they'll be seen as weak or uncommitted. Some karoshi cases have caused public outcry, but they quickly fade from the news as Japan's culture of endurance and silent suffering runs deep. Even though laws exist to limit working hours, many employees still stay late voluntarily, just to avoid being perceived as lazy or lacking dedication. Disguising yourself in public, not only legal, but applauded. In Japan, there's an entire industry dedicated to helping people disappear, from 48-hour vanishing services to renting apartments without needing to show identification. Part of the broader Johatsu phenomenon, this version is more nuanced. People intentionally change their entire appearance, hairstyle, clothing, voice, even how they walk, to blend into society like a different person. Some companies even offer full transformation packages, helping clients adopt a new identity through makeup, behavior coaching, and wardrobe changes. People use these services to escape debt, toxic relationships, or simply to start over, as if their past lives never existed. The fascinating part? Wearing a disguise in public isn't frowned upon in Japan. In many cases, it's even seen as a form of individual expression, quietly respected as part of personal freedom. From laws that feel like fiction to social norms that baffle the world, Japan proves that law is not just about control, but also a mirror of culture, history, and the unique ways people choose to live together. You might find it bizarre, you might find it fascinating, but one thing's for sure, Japan is never predictable. So which one from today's list shocked you the most? Which was the strangest or sparked the most curiosity? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your take on it. And if you enjoy discovering true stories that sound unbelievable, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you won't miss the next deep dive with Eagle Discovery. See you in the next episode, where the extraordinary continues, told in the most honest and unique way possible.